If you guys want to see how I got this glam clown, keep on watching. I've already done my brows, and I'm taking the Nars Natural Radiant Longwear foundation, and I'm just using my finger to just dab the foundation onto my face and taking a sponge from Showstoppers Beauty to pretty much blend it all in. Next up, I'm taking Fenty Beauty's setting powder and nutmeg, and I'm just going to set the foundation in. Because we are going to be painting on the face, I want to make sure that this is really matte. Using my Anastasia Amrezy palette, I'm going in with a transition shade. What was the name of it? I think it was New Yorker. So I'm just going to put that all over my lids. Start my halo, I'm going in with Simsa, and then I'm going to follow up with Hugo just to kind of smoke it out and bridge the two inner and outer corners together to create the shape of my halo. Next, I'm going in with ColourPop's concealer. I'm not sure what shade this is, but I'm just taking the concealer and I'm going to pretty much put that on the inner space that I don't have any shadow on my eye, just so we can really create the shape of the halo. So I didn't want to go with a very wide halo, so I'm just going to put the concealer on and try to keep it as narrow as possible. Once I pretty much mapped out the shape of the halo that I want, I'm going to go back in with Hugo, and I'm just pretty much going to start tightening up the inner and outer corners to make my, to get the very center of my eye as narrow as possible. Because like I said, I wanted this to be a very thin, I don't want to say thin, but a very narrow halo, because some halos, you know, you can pretty much make it whatever shape you want. But because of the clown effect, I wanted it to be very, like, slim. So that's why we just tightening up the corners with Hugo on both sides until we get it to the shape, the desired shape that I want. So blending is key. So you want to make sure you just continue to go back and forth with a very light hand to create this. And as you can see, we're starting to narrow it in a little bit. Next, we're going in with the glitter primer from NYX Cosmetics, and I'm just taking a small liner brush, and I'm just going to pop that on the center of my lid, because even though I'm not using a loose glitter, I wanted to go with the glitter from the palette. And the glitter that we're using is a Barb, because it's a really nice pink. And we're just going to put that over the center of the lid just so it can stick. I would have wet my brush, but I didn't want to go through all of that. I figured I'll just use the glitter primer to pop that glitter right on the center of the halo. Next up, I'm taking a liquid liner. I'm not even sure the name of this brand. I'm sorry. I'll list it in the description box when I find it. And I'm just making just a regular line. No wing, no nothing. So I'm taking my lashes from the Boldfacemakeup. This is in the style Blown Away, and I'm just putting them right on. I didn't film this part, but my lash glue was already on top of my liner. It's just easier for me to put the lashes on that way. So I line first, put the lash glue on, and then pop the lashes on. So I don't use the brow contour pen from Benefit for my brows. So I'm just taking the definer part of it, and I'm just outlining the shape of the clown, and I'm just, you know, pretty much using it all over. And I'm going to also use it for the lower part of my neck as well. So I'm just mapping out the face, mapping out the lines of the smile, and yep, here we go on the neck. And this was kind of hard on my left side because I was trying to make it even with my right. It took me a few times, but you know, once I got it, I got it. So taking the Mehron Paradise Paint palette, I pretty much took the dark purple and the dark pink out of this palette. And for my ribbons, I'm going in with ombre in those shades because I really want to use pink and purple together. And then I'm also going to take the white and make, you know, my white ribbon on my neck, you know, white. And then I'm taking the same 3 whites in my palette, and I'm just outlining the shape of my smile, and then I'm gonna fill it in later. I forgot to mention that this is a water activated paint palette, so I'm just taking a beautiful turquoise shade that's in that palette, and I'm just fading that into my pink. So like I said, the less water on your brush, the better, and the smaller your brush, the better. So I'm just going back and forth and just ombreing that in so it can all just fade together. So now I'm taking the purple paint that I use for my ribbons, and I'm just pretty much outlining my lipstick. The lipstick I'm wearing is Beauty Bakerie's Figgie Smalls Lip Whipper. Is a really nice purple color. So I'm just taking the paint from the Mehron Paradise paint palette, and I'm extending my lips outward. So I'm just kind of like going into the motions of like if you was to line your lips with a liner, but I'm just lining it with the paint. And then with the shape of the triangles on my face, I just pretty much took the black paint that's in the palette and pretty much filled in my nose, the triangles, and took the turquoise shade and filled it in underneath my left eye and blended the purple and pink paints together on my right eye and outlined everything in black. Sorry I didn't film that part because these were actually done on Snapchat. Using the black paint from the palette, we just pretty much outlining the whole entire mouth area. It just looks better that way. And then going back into the Amrezy palette, I'm taking a very small shader brush, and we're using the BK shade, which is the black shade, and we're just going to go over and set the areas that we pretty much lined with the paint. And because it'll look better that way, we don't want no fading, no cracking. And as you can see, my neck is starting to crack, so I had to go back in with more white paint just so we didn't have any more of the cracking going on. Because, I mean, this look did take about like 5 or 6 hours. So that's to be expected. And plus, you know, my neck was kind of sweating a little bit because I was hot. But anyway, we went back in and we just kind of like fixed everything. So we just tightening up all of the black areas and shading everything in with the black eyeshadow. And pretty much we done. Pop them contacts in. That was the hardest part because my eyes be watering. And that is your Glam Clown. Thank y'all for watching.